I'm alive. Hey, good morning. So check it out. I know this is right away. And you know what? Maybe I should wait until some more people are on here, but I want to share with you some stuff that I found while we were decluttering sentimental items in our own house. I can't actually, oh, you know what it was? It was sentimental items. Good morning, everybody. I will wait for my little story until we've got more people in the room because I think you'll all, as we would say, do you say you would get a kick out of it? I get a kick out of you. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. Ah, good morning, good morning. I bet you didn't expect to turn on to TikTok Live and hear me singing Cole Porter, did you? But you know what? You never know what you're going to get with me. You know? So good morning. Good. I keep on thinking it's Friday. I keep on thinking it's Friday because I am leaving within a few hours to road trip, to literally road trip, just not metaphorically road trip like we talk about in Destination Decluttered Coaching. But yeah, I am driving up to New England to help my dear, awesome, fabulous mother with her clutter in her cluttered home that she has lived in almost as long as I've been alive, and I've been alive for a couple of decades. So good morning. Okay, cool. So Dragon's Girl is saying, me too, kept saying yesterday felt like Thursday. Yeah, I'm thinking of it because I usually would be like, I'm going up for the weekend, but I'm changing it a little bit because I have a Zoom call on Sunday I want to get back to. And yeah, so hey, me from Ambler, nice to see you. Ambler, PA has a wonderful downtown movie theater, everybody. So if you're ever in there, actually a friend of mine, this is kind of random, but I am kind of random and I love it, is I have a friend, Jay Schwartz, who does this fabulous thing called the Secret Cinema. He has collected films on film, girls on film, literally film, and he puts together these I don't know, programs, I guess, of multiple films that have like a certain theme, and he will show them in old-timey movie houses. Now, I am a sucker for those types of things, and I'm pretty sure he's doing one in Ambler, PA at some time. So if you happen to be in the Pennsylvania area, or the Philly area, and that seems, I almost said up your alley. I was thinking up your sleeve, but that doesn't make sense. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Again! Oh my God. Good morning. So this is me, Destination Decluttered, Macon, Georgia. I love it. You're making bacon in Georgia. I love it. I am hoping to go down to Georgia at some time in the next year or so. I want to go down to Savannah. Ain't never been there before. Been to Atlanta. So very cool. So good morning, everybody. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching and my pretty much everything around my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Because I love travel, I love literal road trips, I love metaphorical road trips, and I want you to just even thinking about your life, but also even maybe just your clutter as a journey, a road trip. Now, I will say, when I was getting into kind of getting some help with myself, some self-help, I, being probably because I'm from New England and I tend to be a bit snarky and a little bit like whatever, I would groan at some of the language people would use. Oh, it's a journey to self-discovery. And so I would kind of go, roll my eyes, like those earnest, overly, whatever things. But I will say it is a journey. It's not a marathon. I like to think of it as a road trip. Road trips to me seem a lot more fun. So I like to phrase things that way when I'm helping you today on this TikTok Live for the next hour or so with your clutter struggles. But also, if you're one of my one-on-one clients, that's when we really work together. You're the driver. I'm the driver of my life. You're the driver of yours behind the wheel. And I'm just the co-pilot for you right now. There we go. Tybee Island. Okay, good to know. Thank you. So here's a fun thing. So as I was coming down the hallway today to my studio office-y thing here from the kitchen where I was hottening my cup of tea, I came across some things that we found while we were decluttering, my husband and I, well, me really, and then I sorted it out and then had him go through it. some stuff that we found while going through our own sentimental clutter. So I'm sharing this with you because it put such a smile on my face that I thought it might put a smile on your face too. But I realized as I'm saying this is that many times with clutter, so I think of clutter in three categories, and they're kind of from top to bottom, from the most kind of superficial to the deepest. You've got your surface clutter, surface. You've got your stored clutter, which is kind of in the middle. It's probably a combo of stuff that's just kind of useful and handy, and then other things that are sentimental, and then you've got sentimental. So you've got surface, you've got stored, and you've got sentimental. Now, each one of these categories has a different way of approaching it, a similar yet different vibe, but many times when people think of decluttering, they think, oh no, they immediately go to the deepest level, which is the sentimental stuff. And they get scared of doing that because sentimental clutter is the stuff that brings up feelings. Oh my gosh, somebody gave that to me. That used to be my grandmother's. Some lady I used to work with gave me that candle. Whatever it is, there's a story involved in that, and the story is a story that kind of makes you feel a feeling. Now, we often get scared because we think all we're going to see is the struggles and the stuff that we've saved because we have a conflict. We're feeling kind of conflicted about this stuff. But I want to share with you, much like I said earlier this week, about thinking of your decluttering as a treasure hunt. Is the treasures aren't necessarily monetary, but the treasures can be something that brings a smile to your face, that warms your heart, that gives you that sense of love. And I say this, and I want to introduce you to this. I don't know if you can see this, but do you see this little picture right here? Can you guys just take a look for a smidge? See this? This is my husband when he was like a little kid. Look at that bowl cut. Look at those cute little faces. Okay? So, oh my gosh, when we were decluttering, we came across this photo. It was in a thing that his mom had saved, right? So think of your decluttering of your sentimental stuff as something that's going to, put a smile on your face. Look, same rock and bowl haircut. I know, huh? And then we found this one. I felt like if these were smaller, I would make like a charm bracelet on it. I think he's wearing it's like his Captain America ringer t-shirt there. He was a hipster before he even knew it. There he goes too. And it was funny. I shared these with him because I put them out on a little shelf. And I said, hun, look what I came up with. They're so freaking cute. So see this? And then the funny thing is there's a gap between when he had like the bowl haircut. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, crap. There's another one. Here's another one with the bowl haircut. I promise on a future one, I will share you because then he became Mr. Flock of Seagulls hair. And there's a picture. I don't know why I didn't pick this one up, but of his high school graduation. And he's got his hair like this and his mortar board is kind of in the middle. And he's got his did he graduate in the 80s? He graduated in the 80s. And his mortar board is in between his giant flock of seagulls hair. So I share this with you. I share these with you because I want you to think of, first of all, how freaking cute. And then I look at my husband and I still think he's freaking cute. I want you to think of the fact that decluttering can be fun. Decluttering can be something that brings a smile to your face, that fills your heart with love. It's not all sad, struggly stuff. Your fear of starting decluttering is because you're afraid of feeling a feeling that hurts. But when you're afraid of feeling a feeling that hurts, you're also not allowing yourself to discover a feeling of love and good vibes, right? And here's a fun thing. Notice that good vibes feeling I have. I didn't know him when he was that old. I met him when he was older than that. But I saw that. It put a smile on my face. I showed him the pictures. He kind of laughed, but then I was able to give him a big hug and be like, oh my God, you're so freaking adorable. And now I share them with you. And I mean, who doesn't love those little chubby cheeks? Puts a smile on your face. So think of the smiles that you may be avoiding, you may not be getting to because you're not going through your stuff. When you think your decluttering is going to make you feel bad, you're going to avoid doing it. We as humans, we avoid pain. Right? Am I right? Please. I was at the Pilates place. I call it my gym, and I was doing a thing yesterday and I was like, whoa, I don't want to feel pain. So I am going to ease up on what I'm doing. Now, I mean, I think it makes sense to to be aware of these things, but notice where these things are stopping you. Because me kind of slacking off a bit on my workout, and I owned it too, because I am going to be sitting behind the wheel of a car for 6 hours today. Tomorrow and the next day, I'm going to be going up and down flights of stairs, moving stuff, moving stuff, moving stuff. I didn't want to be starting that whole journey, there's the journey again, in pain. So I did something different. However, I also probably didn't get the most benefit of what I was doing. Okay. Um, Kaya is saying you need to look at Wear Felicity. The bracelets they make are amazing. Okay. Oh, interesting. Maybe I will. I'm gonna write that down. Can't hurt it. I am a Wear Felicity. Thank you for the tip. I am a bracelet person, but I'm not much of a jewelry person. You guys only see me. It's so funny. I am like 90% of the time because I'm in. This is like my work outfit. Occasionally, I do get dressed up, and you'll see photos of that. I know at some point. But thank you for the tip. Okay. So yes, how can I help you with your clutter? Here's a fun thing. I will just share this with you. I do one-on-one coaching. I do like a 10-session package, 10 weeks in a row. You and me. You're the pilot. You're the co-pilot. Like you're the driver. I'm the co-pilot. You want to go somewhere, I can help you get there. I just woke up early, not only to do this TikTok live, but also prior to that, because I will say this. Let me make a useful kind of the, as I like to say, in the moral of this story is, in the moral of this story, I'll lead with the moral of the story is, not like fractured fairy tales. Pay attention to where your energy is, and when you have more energy and you have less energy, and plan your journey accordingly. Now, on a literal road trip, I am a morning person in life. So whenever my husband and I are driving, or even me, I will always take the first shift. I will take the first leg. He is much more a night owl. So if we ever happen to be driving at night, he will be the one to take the second leg in the night. So you play to your strengths, okay? Play to your strengths when you're decluttering. Play to your strengths whenever you're trying to get something done. Yesterday, I had a busy day. It was an awesome, busy day. But at a certain time, around dinner time, and I still had some stuff to do, I was like, I don't know, this is maybe a deep cut. If anybody ever listens to Car Talk on NPR, Car Talk, I'm from Boston, Car Talk, with the brothers, is they used to make a joke about who like worked in their office at Dewey, Cheatham and Howe. And I believe Erasmus B. Dragon was there, Erasmus B. Dragon, and my ass was Dragon yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I am so exhausted. And when I didn't have a lot of energy in my tank, even a simple task felt overwhelming. Now, I noticed this, and I did a couple of things, and I want to share this concept with you. When you feel like you are doing, when you feel like your energy is waning, match what you're doing to the energy you have. So also be aware of that, to think maybe nothing is wrong here except for the fact that I'm just physically and mentally tired. I did this yesterday, and so something I thought I was going to do last night, which was upload testimonials from some clients that have kind of graduated from coaching, that just felt so overwhelming, and I was cranky and done. So what did I do? I said, no big deal. I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to have some dinner, go to bed, watch my stupid K-drama that I'm trying to catch up on. And this morning I woke up early. My tank was full. It took like nothing. And so it was easy for me to upload a bunch of testimonials to the testimonials page on my website. Okay. So let me scroll back here and see what we've got here. Yeah, German Made 95. Let me just, is saying, yay, I didn't realize you were doing a live today. So this is the month where I am really doing some extra cool stuff beginning to do some extra cool stuff for the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. Now, I had on the second to last email I sent said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to continue this marathon of TikTok lives, because I started one sometime last week of showing up every day and doing a TikTok live. So I let the people on the mailing list know about that. Then there's going to be a gap where I will not be doing a TikTok live for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe I'll start on Monday. But you know who the first people are that's going to know about that, and who do already, are the people from the Destination Decluttered mailing list. Destination Decluttered brendaw.com/join. I printed it out myself and I double checked it, unlike last time when I screwed up on one of them. But I have some more TikTok lives coming out. Now, I will probably on Sunday or Monday or something do a video and post the schedule so those of you not on the mailing list will also know, and new people and stuff. But here's the difference. The recordings for the TikTok lives in May are going to be only available to the people on the mailing list for the month of May. And then after May, they will be put public. So I love thinking of being on the list equals you get first dibs. Do you ever say that when you were a kid? I get first dibs on something. And so it will behoove you to learn about your uvula. It will behoove you to hop on the mailing list if this is something of interest to you. Okay, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Okay. Guinness Creative is saying, hey, I'm a maid and I have a client who is afraid to throw anything away. How can I nicely help her? Oh, that's so cool of you to not only help with the maid part, but helping her with that stuff. And here's what I do with my clients. Notice the fear of throwing anything away. And people of a certain age any of us can struggle with that, but approach her with love and compassion and non-judgment. Let her know reassuringly you are there for her when she is ready to help her, but do not force her to do anything. That's how I show up as a coach. Just knowing that somebody is there for you and is ready to help you when you feel ready can allow you to kind of, instead of being hanging on to stuff, might allow you to release it, okay? Don't judge her. Don't say there's a timeline, but let her know there's help out there and that she's not the only one struggling with these things, okay? And how awesome for you to help her with that. And for being a maid and helping people with the cleaning, because that's something I tend to drag my feet on as I look around at my Venetian blinds that need some dusting. Brenda W. is saying, newly widowed. Oh, hon, I'm sorry. How to start cleaning out my husband's shops. Lots of tools need organizing. You know, to me, I don't know how tool handy your husband was. Those are things that might bring up certain sentimental things, but certain things that are just like, oh, this is a hammer. What I want you to think of, Brenda, is those were your husband's tools, and they may still be your tools, but ask yourself which of his tools are going to make your life easier moving forward. I know, for example, my husband inherited his toolkit from his dad. I didn't really. I had my own kind of modest little toolkit from before we met. But also, my husband has saved many more tools in the toolkits because he knows how to use them. I don't know how to use them, and I will probably hire somebody. If he were ever to go away, I would probably hire somebody to do the things with the big wrenches and the drills or whatever it is. So take a look at the ones that you think are going to help you. And then also realize, too, that the tools you don't use from your husband's collection, I bet there's somebody out there who would love to have a set of tools or even just a hammer or whatever. So there are ways that you can donate things those tools can then go help somebody. Now, the funny thing is you mentioned tools. I think of the skills I teach when I'm coaching as kind of like a toolkit in your car, so that there are tools you use and they help your life. There are also tools you think are going to help you and you maybe not use them, okay? But my heart goes out to you, hon. That's a tough thing to be widowed and to go through stuff that your husband, touched, and it's got a bit of his energy on it. I can imagine that's going to bring up feelings. It's okay to feel the feelings, okay? So I hope that helps, okay? All right, Fiery Angel is saying, brought new stuff to work to give away. Coworkers said it was stupid, and if I didn't want it, throw away. Okay, so I would say, kind of in my snarky way, well, your coworker seems stupid because, see, like your coworker's stupid. Oh yeah, you're stupid. That was very disrespectful for them to say that, and frankly, clueless. But I would say, all right, you can choose. Here's the thing. People are people. People can be dorks. People can be jerks. I know this is so much easier for me to say than do, so trust me when I say this, that I'm going to say it, but I know it's not as easy as just saying it. We can't change people from being clueless, uncaring people and saying things that could hurt people, but we can pay attention to the fact that they just said some words, and those words are making us feel a certain way because you put the little unhappy face on it. You can choose to say, I choose to have their comment to not bug me. Now, again, I know that it's easier. That's like this talking. It's not necessarily this talking, but you can choose to say, you know what, that's just your opinion, dude. I was trying to do something good. Learning to kind of put the traffic cop hand up, and it's kind of like, here's a visual. I'm going to hit you with a visual about this. You're there with somebody in the real world, and they toss a piece of dog poop at you. They toss something at your dog poop, right? Now, you may be in the habit of, if somebody throws something at you, you catch it, because it's just like your habit to catch something. You don't realize what it is until you've caught it. But then you caught it, and guess what it is? It's a piece of dog poop. You have an option there. You have an opportunity. You have a choice there. Now that you see that they threw dog poop at you, you can choose. Do I continue holding on to it? Or do I say, nope? And you could be snarky and throw it back to them. I think it's more powerful to just drop it and walk away. And then wash your hands, of course. Now I feel like I have poop on my hands. But just think of it. That person just threw a piece of dog poop at you. You might have caught it inadvertently. Oh, hey. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't want this. I don't want, don't make me feel it's stupid. Okay? So, there we go. Yeah. And you know what? Here's, like, I think it's, when you can be, trust me, I grew up, my second language was snark. Now I'm a little bit better. I've gotten some coaching, and I realize I feel so much better to be a little bit more kind of wholehearted and all that. However, man, am I in for the cheap laugh? Am I in for like I will win the battle and lose the war, because I will be snarky right back to them. Okay. Yeah. Oops, hit the wrong button. What did I do? There we go. Okay, thank you. She's known for being okay, so notice that. Be like, oh, that was so-and-so being who they are. And here's the kind of even the deeper kind of thing about this, or it's almost the deeper, but it's also the most like enlightened type of thing. When people are saying mean things to you, they're probably saying so many more mean things to themselves. An unhappy person shows up unhappy in the world. Notice how, I would never, me who I am now would be a foreign concept to who I was in my teens and 20s and, well, some of my 30s. When you're unhappy, you share it with the world. You kind of smell of it and you want to spread around the dog poop. Okay? Yeah. But I want you to think of this too. Is where are you showing up? Where are you throwing dog poop at yourself and keeping it inside? Huh? With your cluttering? Yeah. They want to hurt and get a reaction from you. Don't give it to them. Yeah. Be like, whatever, dude. That's, as my husband and I would say, and this is a deep cut, and I'll share it with you. Yesterday's TikTok live, I started singing the Monkees. Better watch it. I'll sing the freaking whole catalog. There was an interview that they tacked onto one of the Monkees episodes back in the day, and it was Mike Nesmith, and you know what it might have even been when he did his screen test, the black and white screen test. Remember when they showed Mike and Mickey? No, actually they did. I always saw the Mike and Davy ones. Everybody had one, but they were black and white. And one of the phrases that has kept with me all these years, and I had a crush on Mike Nesmith for a while there, is, that's your hang up, man. Like that it has everything to do with you and has nothing to do with me. That's your hang up, man. So notice that. Feel free to use that. That's part of my pop culture lexicon. If somebody does that, we're like, whoa, what's that all about? That's so you, and that has nothing to do with me. Yeah, you take the high road and I'll take the low road. I take both roads sometimes. Yeah. So, yeah, she got to you, but learn about that and do something differently next time. Get yourself some distance. And you can do something. This is all life is about learning and doing things differently. If you did something, unless you learn from your mistakes, they're going to happen all over again. But the more you can say, hey, look what happened in that transaction. I ended up feeling crappy. How do I want to feel next time I have an interaction with that person? So I'm going to prepare myself and act and think differently. To realize that whatever they say, that is all about them and has nothing to do with me. Okay? So there we go. Joe was saying, same thing happened to me. Yeah, triggers are real. Yeah, I know myself. Like, I would know. I won't tell that story, but I will say, like, there are things that you don't even realize that can poke a nerve physically, emotionally, or whatever. But also when you realize that, you can reduce the things. Okay? So notice how things affect you. You can hear them, you can see them up here, But right here is where this is where everything happens to me. This is just like, I don't know if you guys ever worked like retail or anything in a kind of a hierarchy business. Maybe like I think of like a factory. I worked retail, so that's where I get it. You've got upper management and they have these great ideas. The home office says we should do this. I worked down here with the people. I was one of the people. And here's what happens. They send down a message, and if you like what they're doing and you agree with them, you're like, sure, this sounds good, let's do it. You work together. However, if upper management is bringing down a thing and you're like, nope, I don't like that, that's not going to work, it feels uncomfortable, whatever, you're not going to let it happen. You're not going to do the work. And this factory here moves these machines, these hands. So unless the workers want to do it, the hands don't move. It doesn't happen. Well, the hands will move, but what they'll do is they'll have you hanging out on the couch and scrolling on TikTok. So notice, you can have an idea in your head. I know I should do this. I think this is a good idea. If you're not doing it, it's probably because the factory here, the workers who are doing the work, don't have buy-in. They're saying, what's in it for me? No, that sounds like a lot of pain for very little gain. So think about that. Working well, companies, when they're like, I assume there are companies there where you've got awesome management and awesome workers and they're working together. Oh my gosh, revolutionary, awesome things happen. But sometimes there's a lack of communication. There's a disconnect between these two. And where there's a disconnect between what I like to call your head and your heart, the hands do not move. Or the hands go like this and they say, no, I'm not going to get rid of that stuff. Okay. So Mevins Live says, I just adore you. You're such a breath of fresh air. You always uplift me when I watch you. Yes. Like the 18-hour bra that Jane Russell used to do on the commercials. So let's do this. Okay. All these good infos we're thinking about, let's get focused. Let's get really slightly more specific. What we're learning now, what I just even shared with you in the last half hour, how can you approach that? How can you apply that to your clutter situation? How about the fact that when you pull out something that is a sentimental item and it doesn't tell you a good story, are you going to hold on to that story of dog poop? Or are you going to remove it so you don't feel that dog poop way anymore? Now, how about choosing to do something different when something else happens? How about if you don't have buy-in from your head and your heart, hanging out here to say, okay, how can I change this? Okay, oh, my plan wasn't great. How can I make this plan better? So you guys are like, yeah, okay, we can do that. Because when this is changed and this is changed, the world changes. You change your world on this journey. I feel like one of those 70s self-help books that didn't really help at all unless you read them, okay? So think about how you can apply these things to your specific clutter situation. Yeah, those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. I always think that Dr. Seuss, should be a rapper. Yo, yo, yo. I have a Dr. Seuss book back here that I was just reading yesterday. So yeah, choice. Catherine is saying choice, and yeah, it's always the choice. And it's kind of scary, but also kind of awesome when you say, wait a minute, I don't have to put up with this. I can do something about this scenario. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the groove while my DJ revolves it. I am not a rapper, as you can see. I don't play one on TV. Yo, yo, yo. All those chicks and all you guys. Joe Popo pies. Choice is a wonderful thing because you get to choose what's best for you. And when you choose what's best for you, that will have a positive ripple effect on the people around you. I love it. Mevins LV says, once you choose to get rid of it, I'm always amazed at the freedom I feel afterwards. Yes, that feeling of freedom, that's why I show up to help you declutter. Because I know it's not about the stuff. I know enough to know that the clutter is the stuff you don't want, that you're afraid to get rid of. But once you get rid of it, man, the feeling of freedom. Now, remember I talked earlier of surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental. I also want you to think of when you are decluttering your home. how do you want it to look is pretty much just on the surface. Then you've got the how do you want it to function, which is your stored clutter. Easily find things, easily. Find things, use them, put them away. Function, the right amount of things, the quality and quantity of your things. That's your stored clutter. But here is how you feel. And that is the most, that to me is the biggest, that's not the tip of the iceberg. That's where it happens, is how does your clutter make you feel now? And how do you want to feel? How would you rather feel instead? This is what I think of opposite land. I fold a paper in half. I put the bad stuff on one side and the better stuff on the other. I was on a coaching call yesterday with a client. She calls it reverse, reverse. My clients may say, you know, when they are like, oh, I know what she's going to do. She's going to tell me to fold a piece of paper in half to make 2 columns. Okay? The unhelpful thoughts and feelings keep you stuck. The more helpful thoughts that you rewrite from those ones make you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. Okay? So I love that. T-Site says, I made a choice to keep 1 bin of children's books that are very old. Awesome. That's cool. Yeah. But I want you to, maybe you've never even thought about this before, so maybe this is kind of an awesome, not a truth bomb, that seems kind of dramatic, maybe like a truth seed to be planted in you're collecting seeds that you decide what you plant in your head to let them see what blooms, see what you want to plant in your head and what blooms. So maybe that's just an idea of, hey, wait a minute, I never realized how much the stuff that surrounds me makes me feel a certain way. If my stuff makes me feel a certain way, I can remove the things that make me feel bad, and therefore they don't make me feel bad anymore. They're going to go help somebody else. And then suddenly I'm feeling a little bit better because everywhere I look in my home is something that makes me feel good. I don't necessarily love it all. Like, I'm not in love with my spatulas, but boy, are they handy when I want a spatula, right? They're handy. They're useful. I love much of my stuff. It brings a smile to my face. I am so good at this now that I rarely am frowning and looking at my stuff. And when I am, I know that that's something I can do something about. How can I turn that frown upside down, right? I love it. T-Site is saying the rest of the books are going to neighborhood book nooks. Love it. Yeah, okay, notice how, and Mevins is saying, so weird how things can grip you. They can't grip you. You're gripping the thing. They can't grip you. This is not gripping me. I am gripping it. And I say that's a subtle but powerful difference, because when I am gripping it, I have the choice to continue hanging on to it or releasing it, putting it down somewhere else, like in a donation bin or on a free table. I want to grip this because it's got my tea in it. There we go. I love this. Miss Julie is saying, Beth, I'm feeling much more under control as I listen to you and act accordingly. Wonderful. Thank you for letting me know that. And it's even helping with my compulsive eating. Yeah, this is the thing that I'm telling you, the thing that makes me feel so good about coaching is I know for a stone cold fact that how I teach you how to declutter does not just stay in the declutter lane. This way of thinking and feeling and doing, of creating a space where you can say, wait a minute, I can do something else here. That gap, that pause, you can use this way of thinking in so many other areas of your life, like eating, you know? And I love when people get that. That's why I love to teach this, because I love seeing that aha moment, like, oh, I get it now. I love that feeling of things clicking and, oh, I never really noticed the association between when I look at something, how it makes me feel. Now, I have known about that for decades because I started as an art history major. So if you're trained about how things that you look at make you feel, hello, art. But also I was then in visual merchandising. I worked at Pier 1 Imports. I worked at Mikasa. I worked at Filene's. I sold my stuff, and I knew that certain things made me feel a certain way. I'm very in tune with that. But you're doing the same thing. You just may not be aware of it. But when you realize, then you have a choice to hang on to something or let it go. It's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. And I want to empower you. You can do something about this. Okay? You can do something about this. And it doesn't have to be as big and as scary as you're afraid of. It can be small and powerful. A little sneaky, little decluttering, even right now. Okay, I found all the cell phones I've ever owned. Says M Garden, I'm ready to get rid of them. Oh my gosh, we did the same thing. I had a bag of them down the basement that I said, my gosh, this is like our basement, my husband's a musician and he likes to collect old technology because I'm like, I'm going to use that. And notice I'm going to use it someday. He says, I'm going to use this on a recording someday. And we didn't know what to do with our cell phones. So we literally had like the history of our cell phones, from the little silver ones that had a little like LED screen or whatever, to the ones that we had now that's like, these are too good to throw in the trash. We were able to find a cell phone recycling thing, and we just brought the whole bag over. So I love it. When you're ready to get rid of them, you Google and you say, where can I get rid of cell phones in my place, and know that they're going to do it safely. Carla Holiday, nice to see you. Nice to see you in how we're used to showing up and getting to know you a little bit more. So excited for next week when we start doing one-on-one coaching. Yeah, I love this community. We were talking yesterday about what a fun group of people always shows up when I do TikTok lives. And we're all here. We're all here working. We're all on our own journeys. We're all behind the wheel of our own cars, driving towards our own destination, decluttered. And we're all moving at a pace that feels right to us. And it's not a competition. It is not a race. We all just happen to be on the road at the same time. We're kind of waving to each other. Some of us are a little bit closer, some of us a little bit behind. But ideally, if I've done my job right, we're all moving forward in a way that feels good, like a road trip, not like a freaking eastbound and down, you know? So, all right, what do we hear? I got you thinking. I got you thinking. I love it when I get people thinking, because I love thinking myself. Magic happens up here, people. Magic happens up here if you let it. But when it gets distracted by all the inconsequential things, it can't do its best work. Your brain wants to create the world you want. And once you get rid of the stuff that doesn't matter, it can just run more effectively. And just do that. Make shit happen. Good stuff. I say shit, but I just mean that. Ooh, I make cool stuff happen. You know, Dragon's Girl says, gotta run, gotta see my autistic son get his ROTC award this morning. Awesome. Hun, rock on, and best of luck to your son. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, same. Made 8 trips yesterday back and forth after we talked. Yeah. Just notice what happens. This is the powerful thing. This is why I feel so good about the way I coach, because I coach one-on-one with people all across the country. Cool thing is, this year I have added some clients that have signed up with me for coaching in states that they've never been before. So Carla, you're one of them. I was like, oh, look, I can put my little smiley face on your state. That's really fun to me. But the thing that I think is so exciting is that I don't come to your house. Can you imagine how exhausted I would be? I live in Pennsylvania. If I went to Colorado and Idaho and Montana and Washington and California and Alabama and Colorado and Iowa, all those places, I would be exhausted. However, the neat thing is that really what coaching is all about is opening up, being ready, saying I want to do something different, hearing something different, seeing how it feels, and then applying it. Noticing how that changes, and noticing how all I do is show up. Not all I do, but I show up and I talk to you, and we have a convo in a kind, supportive, non-judgmental, relaxed, friendly, funny environment. And notice the difference in just hanging out in that energy feels better. Now, I show up as an example of this. You get the benefits of it when we're on this thing, but my goal is to teach you how to generate this kind of good vibe within yourself so you can do this without me in the car. That you and your invisible co-pilot, of which I have my own, are in the road together to say, where do you want to go? Let's go there, and it makes it easy. Okay? So just notice the good vibes. That's a lot of what it is talking to yourself more kindlier. Okay? I love it, doing it as we speak. Yep. Yeah, hey, you know what Mevins LV is saying? Cliche, I know. I mean, yeah, kudos to Marie Kondo. With the whole, if it doesn't spark joy, I've been getting rid of it. Yeah. If it doesn't make you feel good, why have it hanging around? Okay? So I totally get that. I'm catching up on the comments, so people are laughing about my Pier 1 Imports thing. Yep. See the good things you can do. Spent 3 hours in the cellar yesterday, says Cat Mama. 3 hours in the cellar yesterday. I love your use of cellar. I think that is a New England thing, is versus basement. Going down the cellar. Yesterday, 2 big boxes going to Goodwill today and put stuff aside for Junk Guy Saturday. Cat Mama, I love this. So I will share with you. I do one-on-one coaching, paid coaching with a number of clients. I will always make room for clients in my one-on-one coaching, but I know that my paid coaching may not be within reach of everybody. Now, this is the thing. I know that paying for coaching is a different level of commitment, and finances are something that are personal to you. I know people that I have coached that it's been a bit of a, but they feel worth it, so they're investing it. I know other people who are like, oh my God, that's a bargain. Sign me up. Like, no, duh. And it's the same amount of money. So we all have different feelings about money. The fun thing is too, is again, I feel really good about what I do coaching wise, because I am there for the people who are able to, and easily and not without threatening their livelihood, pay for coaching, because that's when the magic happens. But the magic also happens here on these free TikTok lives, because Cat Mama and I have never met, but I see you enough to know on these things that you're showing up and you're doing things and you're sharing what you're doing and you're making progress and it's feeling good. You are getting it. You are making progress. So to me, there's so many different roads to get to where you're decluttered. Okay. Somebody's saying, anyone from Michigan? Oh, how I wish again I was in Michigan, back on the farm. Not yet. But Michigan is one of my states that I would love to. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to think, wouldn't it be fun to say, I have had clients in every single state of the U.S. Now, the interesting thing for me is I know that it's going to be a lot more of a, just a slightly more coordination thing, because I'm on the East Coast, so I'm on East Coast time. And like somebody in Hawaii, we could make it work. I would totally make it work. So, hey, word to your mother. If anybody knows anybody in Hawaii who needs a one-on-one decluttering life coach, send them my way. But I also I am so flexible with my schedule that I help clients. Literally, I have multiple clients in California, and we have a 3-hour time difference. I have a client that wakes up and we meet at 5 a.m. her time, 8 a.m. my time, and we've been working together almost a year. And she gets so much out of it that she wakes up at 5 a.m. to do this, because she gets so much out of that just one-on-one time with me. And I'm not saying it's about me. It's about what she gets out of it. I am happy to show up like that. I have another client who's East Coast. We both get up at 6 a.m. because she finds so much value of it. Okay? I love all this good stuff. Oops. And this is what happens with TikTok. I will just share with you. I try to scroll methodically so I don't miss people's comments and questions, but sometimes it goes all the way to the bottom. And I back up. I back up like this, okay? You have beautiful skin, says Carolyn Williams. Why, thank you. I am very wrinkly, but I'm also almost 58 years old, and I have what I like to call tissue paper Irish skin, but I'm also cool with it. Thank you. What do we got here? T-Site is taking a test before I get started at 10. See you later. Smell you later. Bye. I'll make a video. Awesome. Rock on with your test. You got this. Miss Julie is cheering on Cat Mama. Good stuff. Somebody is from Michigan. Michelle is saying, what I realized is someone else can use the things I donate, and that brings me joy. Yes. Notice that kind of positive ripple effect in the old, a rising tide floats all boats. Ever heard that comment? I never heard that until the past 10 years or so, but man, it's true. When you're doing something good, and you can other people can rise up when your boat's rising. That's why I'm bringing you all along with me, because my coaching boat is kind of trucking along there, bopping along on this is fun. Okay, come on along with me. Notice how the mindset of, oh, if I have this thing and I give it away, I lose it. I don't have it anymore. What if I need it? You forget that on the other side, reverse, on the flip side, on the other side, hey, I've got this thing that was helpful for me at one point. I don't use it anymore. But you know what makes me feel good is not only just removing the things that just are getting in the way because I don't use them, but you know what I like to think? I like to think when I put it out there and I donate it or I sell it or I give it away, however I get it out of my house, I'm putting it back in circulation so it can catch up with somebody who will benefit from this thing that I have. And when it leaves my house and I have that good feeling, my house is lighter, I have one less thing in it. I feel good because I have one less thing in it. I feel good because I know somebody else out there is going to use it. I feel good. Da-na-na-na-na-na. You feel good. That's why we're doing this. To me, the look is a byproduct. The feel is where it's at. 2 turntables and a microphone, where it's at. Okay? Now I'm channeling both Beck and James Brown because this is how I'm wired, but I also have a musical head, so this cracks me up, makes it fun. Okay? So, yeah, and everybody's saying yes to the joy. There we go. I love it that people are bonding over Michigan. Isn't that the one that's like the mitten or the glove or something like that? I have plans to go to Michigan in August-tober. I love it. Wolverines. All right. Yay, see the bonding here? Okay. User 2625, etc. says, I have panic attacks after I get boxes ready to go out. What I want to suggest to you with love and compassion and kindness, maybe you're decluttering in a way, if you're decluttering in a way that gives you panic attacks after you get the boxes ready, let's re-examine how you're doing this, why you're doing this. What I always suggest to my clients and encourage them and not train them, that sounds like, I don't train monkeys, I just, whatever. I don't own monkeys, I just train them. Pee-wee, help me out here. Notice the process you're currently using that gives you that result. Now, I also, in addition to working at Pier 1, the last many years of my official kind of corporate career, I worked in team management and process engineering. So if you're not getting the result you want, back it up and say, where am I starting and what's the process that's leading me to create a product that I don't want? That stress when I'm getting rid of stuff. Let's back it up. Back up the car and say, wait a minute, is there a different way I can do this so that when I get my boxes ready, I feel different, I feel good? And my answer to you, user 2625, is yes. There is a way to declutter so you don't feel the panic attacks after you get the boxes ready. That's how I travel. All right, me, safe travels. Thank you very much. Gotta ride now. Okay. There we go. So we got the Michigan people. I bet you anything you guys were saying Michigan, and then the what do you call that thing? The algorithm was like, they're talking about Michigan. So look, there's a handful of y'all in Michigan that are decluttering. There we go. Colleen G is saying, do you have a video where you do a house tour? No, you will see occasionally. Here's what I want to share with you. And full disclosure, despite the fact that I can easily show up here and talk one-on-one, even though there's hundreds of people on these TikTok lives, and show you snippets. I show you a window into my house and my life about this big. You know there's a life that's outside of this rectangle. I'm a very private person. I enjoy my privacy, and I like to be in control of who I hang out with, who I share things with, when I share them with you. So like, for example, when I do like pop-up TikTok lives on the weekend, which don't always happen, I think it's fun to do it from another room in my house. But mostly I am here. So notice that I have kind of boundaries that make me feel good. I don't feel the need to expose all my home to you because this is my house. But you will get glimpses of it in the background. The way my house looks, I love my house. I look around and I just love stuff. And it is so easy to keep tidy. So I just want you to teach you that way too. Maybe someday I will have a thing, if it would raise money for a good cause, I'm thinking about that. I will plant that seed with my own self. Maybe someday I will get involved with something that you could actually come and walk through my house, but it's going to cost you money because it's going to be worthwhile. Okay? So, yep, there we go. Oops. Got this going. Okay, I love this. I'm glad we're covering this because I want to. I only get 10 minutes in the house. Okay, I love it. Somebody's decluttering their work email. There we go. Okay, the Michigan people will welcome your arrival to our state with fervor. I love it. Little yay, little pennants waving when I'm at the Detroit airport or whatever. Ocean Grove, New Jersey, awesome. Love it down there. Okay, so we could talk about geography all the time because I love knowing where people are. Because I just can put, oh, you're in that state. Oh, I don't have a paying client on that in Michigan. Maybe somebody from Michigan wants to, have me as their coach. That would be fun. But I want to get to this one because Osha Jen is saying, where do you start when a room is overwhelming? Okay, where do you start when a room is overwhelming? Let me help you with that. You start with the overwhelm, recognizing the overwhelm, okay? Overwhelm is a feeling. It lives down here, at least for me. It doesn't live in my toes or my nose or my fingertips. When I'm overwhelmed, I feel it here. I feel it in my gut too. Oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I bet I'm going to feel like that going to my mother's house. However, what I've learned to do is to calm down my overwhelm. Now, let's even get kind of stepping outside of the feeling parts of us for the moment. Let's talk as if we were in an English class. Overwhelm has the word over in it, O-V-E-R. Overwhelm means it's over your head, over. I'm kind of over this, but it's over my head. And I want you to think of the opposite of the word over. Now, in the way I teach this, over, under. Over, and how do you get to under? The opposite of overwhelmed, you go under, underwhelmed, if that's a word. I joke, that's a Sloan song, is down. Think about it, over, down, and think of, I love this. I've never thought of this analogy before, but my brain comes up with different things all the time because it keeps it interesting for me for my coaching. Think of it as an elevator. You're going from way up here to overwhelm, and you're going slowly in an elevator. You're breathing slowly. It's going down. You slow down. You calm down. You breathe down. You're going down in that elevator. You're going down. Slowing down, quiet down, all the downs. And think of it as a nice, slow, steady elevator. That on that way down, you're just feeling better. You're feeling more relaxed and calm. And then notice how that feels better. Here's the crazy thing. I don't know about you guys, but if you followed along like that, like if we were on like Romper Room or something and you just did that, you put your hands here and then you went like this and you breathe down, you slow down, you quiet down, you calm down. I wasn't even overwhelmed before, but man, does that just feel good in my nervous system. Think about it. Your nervous system gets activated. And when I say that, notice the kind of little jazz hands I do, like zing. I like to think of it almost like as a surprise, like a cat or a dog where the hackles, whoa. And then you realize, whoa, I'm activated. But then you look around, is there any reason for me to be activated? Not necessarily. But in the meantime, I'm still activated. So I calm down. It's like my little dog, my dog's back. I can think of my dog when he would get freaked out. He would get triggered by literally the rolling of the garbage can. Be like, Bub, it's okay. Taking a minute, allowing him to calm down, petting, calming, talking quietly. Do this to yourself. So when you're looking at a room and your immediate kind of gut reaction is to be overwhelmed, say, wait a minute. Before I do anything, let me get out of overwhelm. Let me calm down, let me slow down, and when I'm feeling better, I'm going to do it better. Once you feel better, only once you feel better, do I want you to think of this. And here's another tip too to help you. It's like, oh, I know one of the things I can do to get from overwhelm is knowing that I'm looking at this room too big. I'm looking at the whole room. One thing that's going to help you is to chunk it down. 1 square foot section, not the whole room. Nope, that's overwhelm. But what can I do when I calm down, slow down, breathe down, quiet down, and then I chunk it down? What can I do with that 1 square foot? Well, that looks good. Oh, how about the next square foot? I can do it. A square foot at a time, chunking it down. Okay? And that can help you. Who was it back up here? Osha Jen, when a room is overwhelming. Just recognize what you see because you're looking at all of it. Causes your nervous system to go zing, bah. You don't want to feel that way. You can do something about it. Over to down is going to be like your little cheat sheet. Slowing down, breathing down, calming down, chunking down. And then when you feel better and you're looking at one tiny chunk, if I've done my job correctly, which I hope I have, you will hear a little voice in your head. Not your backseat drivers saying you can't do this, but they will have been quieting down your backseat drivers. When you quiet down your backseat driver voice that says you can't do it, this is when it's quiet enough that your co-pilot, your internal coach, who talks a lot like me, hopefully doesn't have a wacky accent like me, says, that feels doable. That seems easy enough. Can we do that 1 section? Yeah, I think we can do that 1 section. Then when you feel better, you're thinking better, you're feeling better, you're going to do better. You're going to then start. And I know that pretty much the hardest part of all of the decluttering is just getting started. Going from fight or flight to movement, overcoming that inertia, going from park or neutral into drive, shifting gears, and then getting moving, that can be the challenge. So let's work on that. How can to get you started? And calming down your nervous system, looking at things nice and small, overly small, chunking down your time, chunking down how you do it, can get you started. And if you're not starting, what I want to offer to you is after you've done all this and you're still not going, you have a thought in your head that is causing you a feeling that says, I don't want to start. So we hang out there and say, what's that story? Let's get curious. Let's get curious. Okay? All right. Now, I got 4 minutes, and I just want to offer to you. Oh, that's very cool. So Carla Holiday. I hope, Carla, if you don't mind, Carla and I are going to be starting on our coaching, one-on-one coaching journey next week. And Carla's saying, I am stoked to share the Decluttered Start with my daughter and several friends. Yes, spread the word, everybody. This is like a wonderful Fabergé organic shampoo. I tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. If you know people who are struggling with clutter, and I bet you do, that you may not even know. They may be on the surface, things look good, but oh my God, don't go in that room. They don't invite you over to their house. Don't open that drawer. Don't open that closet. Don't look in my garage. Oh my God, my attic. Stored clutter. You can share the gospel of decluttering with people. You may not even know they're cluttered, but just letting them know there's help out there for you, hey, you know what? I was listening to this lady on TikTok. She's a fucking riot. Oh my God, she's always bursting out into songs. She's doing jazz hands. She's popping jokes, and she's also dropping gems that are helping me discover different ways of thinking about things and feeling a certain way. And when I feel better, I'm doing better. And this is kind of fun. So I show up again, and suddenly I'm going through my clutter. You should check her out. It's Destination Decluttered on YouTube. She's also on TikTok, or she's on YouTube, on TikTok, she's a website. It's kind of fun. You should check it out. Spreading the word costs nothing. Might help some people you know that may not even admit that they're cluttered, but boy, do they secretly could use some help. Oh, I love it. So Carly is saying, I hadn't even read this after I did my little spiel right there. We have started a sort of Declutter Our Lives support group. I found they have as much as need as I did. Yeah, many of us, our society is overcluttered. And I know why we are. I know many reasons why we are. I will not get into the history of it, but there are legit external and internal forces as to why we are there. Then some of us get to a certain point and we're like, I am done. I don't want to live like this anymore. I only have one life on the planet, and I am sick of living with the clutter, and I'm ready to do something different about it. And when you are ready to do something different about it, ta-da, I'm here for you. Okay? Yeah, Heather, really good question. All right. What if you can't finish in a project in one day? Good question, because you're not going to finish all one projects in one day. Rome was not built in a day. Sometimes the one day. So how do you not repeat the same steps because things get undone? Okay, so there's a difference between making progress on a project and leaving it. Think about it on the roadmap here. You start here, you work on the project. You're not here anymore. You're over here on the map. Okay, the next time you show up, you're not undone. You're not back to square one. You're starting where you left off, and you're closer to your destination. Now, the undone thing may be the daily clutter and the habits you have of recluttering. Now, that's another thing to be aware of, to notice how you got cluttered and to notice you are doing something to keep yourself cluttered. Now, that's not a judgy thing. I'm not saying that in judgment. I'm saying that in a cool way. Because if you are doing something to get you cluttered, you can do something to get yourself decluttered. And that may not feel like it now, but I guarantee, like Paul Prudhomme would say, that when you think about it and you realize there's another side to the story and you can do something different and you feel different, I can do something about this, then suddenly you're going to do something. You may change your habits. You may decrease the amount of stuff in your house. You may decrease the amount of things that come into your house, and you may increase the amount that goes out. There are things you can do about your clutter. Okay? Okay, Kia, dopamine boost. I must buy more. I hate it. Kia, learn ways that you can get that dopamine hit without buying something. You have a habit of thinking that's the only way you can get dopamine. I'm doing this myself, realizing that one of the rewards I would have for myself would be food, but then that makes me gain weight and feel oogie. I don't want to do that all the time. How about just looking around the store and enjoying those things and picking them up, putting them in your cart, and then you get to the checkout and then you reverse it and you can put everything away. Maybe it was just having fun, because sometimes by the time you get to the stuff to your house, the dopamine is worn off. Now that's for my ADHD people. Okay, Cat Mama, I appreciate you. I'm missing some things. I do 2 totes or boxes per week from my basement. Awesome. All right, everybody, I'm gonna scoot, and I won't see you for a few days on TikTok Live. So, what I want to recommend is talk to yourself kindly, chunk things down, calm things down. But also, if you haven't followed my TikTok page, please follow my TikTok page. You will then know and be notified when I go live again. Get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. It is free. You will get the schedule for the TikTok Lives for the next 2 weeks. You will know when we're doing our free group Zoom coaching. You get first dibs on coaching consultations. There is a recording available for the next 30 days of a free workshop I did on Sunday about how to create a roadmap for your day and for your week to continue the progress so you don't feel like you're going back to square one. All of those things are completely free. The only thing I ever charge money for is my one-on-one coaching. And if you're interested in me being your one-on-one coach, I just uploaded a bunch of testimonials from clients who just kind of graduated, got their license, as it were, so they can do it on their own. Take a look at the testimonials and see if any of that resonates with you. And if you want to feel that way yourself, hop on, get a consultation. We could start coaching one-on-one as soon as next week. But I give you all that as information. Here it is. You can do with it what you will. So I know I'm going over a couple minutes here, but I just want to say, you have things that are going to help you get to where your home is looking and feeling and functioning better, and therefore your life looking and feeling and functioning better. When you feel ready, when you feel like, yes, this is my day today, I'm going to do something different, I am here for you. And you know how to get in touch with me. And now I'm going to sign off. I'm going to pack. I'm going to take a walk. I am going to shower. I'm going to coach. I'm going to hop in the car, and I'm going to go on my own Destination Decluttered. Okay? Thank you for showing up this morning, and I will see you next time. Have an awesome weekend. And I look like alfalfa right here, and I know you can do this. Okay? Now, Michelle, let me just really quickly, because I was about to sign off, but I see your things. Thank you. Going to watch the replay today. Enjoy your trip. Okay, so the replay, okay, hopefully that's of the, you can only watch the replay of the, what do you call it? The workshop if you're on the mailing list. And also the replays of the recordings of the TikTok Lives for May are only going to be available for the people on the mailing list. The mailing list is free. It's super easy and casual. So I don't see the big resistance, and I offer a lot of rewards for that. It's just another first dibsy thing. Okay, so hop on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join, and you get free access to all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, gotta go. Rock on. Oops. Live will end in 1 minute. I know. Oh, TikTok's being goofy. Okay, here we go. TikTok, you goofy thing. I love you, but oh my God. Okay, Huns. I will see you when I see you. Have a great weekend. Bye.